I'm not.
Okay. What I want you to do in your journal. So everybody turn to a blank page or to the next blank area in your journal. What was Mama clutching to her chest as Esperanza was asking herself what Abuelita wanted her to do? We answered, what was it that Abuelita, what did Abuelita mean or want her to do when they moved to California? This is worded a little differently. What was Mama clutching to her chest when Esperanza was asking herself what Abuelita wanted her to do? You don't even have to write a sentence. You can write, it could be a single word answer. What was Mama clutching to her chest as Esperanza is sitting there thinking about what was it that Abuelita wanted me to do? Answer it in your journal. It just has to be one word. If you need to, yeah, that's fine. Just has to be one word. What was Mama clutching to her chest when Esperanza, to her chest as Esperanza was asking herself what Abuelita wanted her to do? Okay. Talk with your partners what you put down.
I put down blanket.
Oh yeah.
You can restate it. Because she was clutching the blanket to her chest. So probably reminded her. Anyway, that's what after I told you. I did. I did. No, you didn't. I watched you after I said it.
Okay. What did we have? What did Mama ask her to get out of her luggage, and then she took it, grasped it, and held it to her chest? Zach.
A blanket that had dust on it from their chest.
Okay. Now, what was it about this blanket? Was the blanket completely made? Jay Sean?
No, Abuelita started it and then she wanted Esperanza to finish.
So what else besides the blanket was on Abuelita's chest? Besides the blanket?
I mean Mama's chest.
Or Mama's chest, I'm sorry. Thank you. Julie.
That's when you see a radio number at Abuelita.
It was, but we're talking about what was she clutching? What are the things that you would use to make that blanket? Austin.
Crochet needles.
Crochet needles, the yarn, everything. She was clutching it to her chest. Mason.
The things where you have to like knit.
Yeah, the
little
knitting needles.
tweezers.
Yeah, the knitting needles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is what I want you to, now this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna point to a vocabulary word, and then I want you to talk with your partner about what the word means and come up with a sentence. Verbally come up with a sentence for that word, okay? So the first word is preoccupied. Talk with your partner. What is preoccupied and come up with a sentence.
You're thinking of stuff that you're like say you were doing something really fun this weekend. You weren't thinking about math right now. You're thinking about what you're going to be doing.
You wanted to do something.
Yeah.
Okay. What is preoccupied? Zach.
It's when, say you're doing something this weekend that you really want to do, that you're really looking forward to, and you're doing math right now. You can't think about math, you're thinking about the things that's going on ahead.
Yeah, you cannot be preoccupied with other things. Who wants to use that in a sentence? We're gonna just do one so we can move on. Harper.
Some kids are preoccupied during school hours so they get bad grades.
Yes, exactly. Some kids are preoccupied during school. All right, let's talk about the word depressed. Talk with your partner. What does depressed mean? And come up with a sentence.
Depressed means like someone says something and
My friend was
depressed is like
upset, and also
I was
really deep
depressed
sad.
because
Yeah, that you can't really
I
you're going
was
through and stuff.
I was mad at my mom because
All right, right back here. What is depressed? Mason. That's pretty good. Unexplainably sad. Who wants to use depressed in a sentence? Savannah.
I was very sad at my uncle's funeral.
You were very sad, but can you use the
Oh,
word?
I was very depressed at my uncle's funeral.
There you go. I was very depressed at my uncle's funeral. Okay, let's look at the word penetrating. What does it mean? And you make it come up with a sentence for penetrating.
penetrating like something like I penetrated the lane and basketball.
Penetrating. So if you penetrate the apple with a knife,
They do.
you stick you stick the knife in the apple.
Piece of steel.
If you're dribbling the basketball, you're going to penetrate the defense. Let the defense to make you lay up the basketball. So penetrating means to stick in.
The whole thing or is a piece of lead? Like the piece gonna be coming out or the whole shell? Yeah.
So you could say you penetrated the knife into the orange. At the orange over.
What's this, a big gun?
All right, right back here. What is penetrating? What is penetrating? Jay Sean.
I penetrated the lane and
You
basketball.
penetrated the lane in basketball. Okay, good. What does penetrate mean, though? He just gave a very good sentence for that. Julian. Come to you?
No, like coming towards you.
Okay,
Like,
all right. But I'm looking for something a little different.
Oh, wait.
Mason.
Like sliced through or like
Okay, slice through.
and then sliced it with
Okay, so you penetrated the watermelon with the knife. So yeah, it's sticking into or putting it into something. Okay, what about the word fitful? What does fitful mean? And come up with a sentence for fitful. Remember in the book, they said she had a very fitful sleep.
like off
off and on sleep.
You really can't let it sleep.
I said off and on sleep. I'm still off and on sleep. I'm still off and on sleep.
All right, what was the definition of fitful? Owen. I need a definition. Then you could do this. No. I understand why you said that, but it's not the right definition we're looking for. Julian.
It's on and on sleeping. Like you're not on.
Well, if you're talking about sleeping, it's off and on, so it means you're probably what?
Not sleeping good.
Well, you're not sleeping well, but not even just talking about sleeping. You could use the word fitful in different ways, in different contexts.
Off and on night.
Fitful, I think of being restless, not being able to get comfortable. That's what I think of fitful being. I didn't get a fitful night's sleep. Meaning I was tossing and turning for whatever reasons. Maybe I was in pain, maybe I had a lot on my mind. Fitful. What about the word schemes? Remember in the book they talked about schemes. Let's talk as a whole group about schemes because this one could be a difficult one to remember.
I know it.
Oh, and what is a scheme?
It has to do something with crocheting.
It does have to do with crocheting. Zach.
It's like the line or string that you use to crochet with.
Okay, I don't need the oohing and awing. Just raise your hand, please. Savannah.
Like the bulk of yarn.
Yeah, you guys ever been to Walmart or any fabric store and they have this huge, almost bulk of yarn? That's a skein of yarn. A big piece of yarn that's all together. And the last one, listless. Who remembers listless? Julia. Has nothing. I don't think that's it.
It was like you don't, when you get up, you don't have like the power to move
Oh,
around
yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like you don't want to get out.
But you
It's
pack
stuff.
it
You like grouchy and you go.
Like
Okay.
wobbly.
If you want to talk, please raise your hand. Okay. Okay, so listless. Having or showing little or no interest in anything. So you're indifferent. You're in a listless mood. Okay? All right. We left off where Esperanza, what? Do you remember?
No. Esperanza.
Esperanza has just found out that her mama is what?
Sit getting the word. Valley fever.
She's getting more depressed because she's lost everything in just 15 months, and so they have to take her to the hospital, but Esperanza doesn't want her to go, but she goes anyway, and she finds out what it all means.
Okay, talk in your groups. What is Esperanza going to do to try to help mom out with her depression? Talk in your group.
She's gonna try. She's gonna try to get ovulation there faster.
Hi, this is a reflection over my mini lesson that I had just done. First off, this was a group, we were doing an Esperanza Rising from the 1st of February and we just finished it up. But at this point in time, the whole 5th grade as a group was already split up based on their level of reading and comprehension. So as far as differentiating the lesson, it wasn't very difficult to have to do because the group of 11 kids that I already had in there were already split up and they are all on the same level of comprehension and reading ability. So that helped a lot when having to plan for this lesson. Some other things that I did to differentiate the lesson for the individuals and for the group was, as I went through, as we talked about parts of the book and as I had them answer the question, I wanted to make sure that all of them had the chance to be able to respond. So using some of Kagan's methods of rally robin and having them talk as a team at their group before I called on individuals, that gave them all the chance and opportunity to respond to the question that I had. Another thing that I did, and it's something I did throughout the whole book, is I had all the definitions posted up on the Promethean board and used it. They could see the word as I said the word, and then what I would have them do after the first day of going over it, then what I would do is then, as you saw in the video, I would have them talk about the definition of the word and then come up with a sentence using that word. And I had them do that in groups or with a partner so they could kind of bounce ideas off of each other. So that way when I did ask them, okay, what is the meaning of this word? What is another sentence? They feel more comfortable in responding, not only to me, but in front of the class. So that's just another way that I differentiated to kind of help those that maybe struggle a little bit more than others. Like I said, they're all on the same level. There was one or two that are maybe just a tad lower than the others, but overall they're on the same level. I really didn't have any challenges that arose as far as differentiating the instruction. Like I said again, they are already split up into 5 different groups. This was just one of the groups, and they were all on the same level. So that helped out a lot. It made it a lot easier, not only on me, but it makes it easier on them. I think they did a good job of talking with each other. Again, I apologize. You couldn't really see. You could see somebody's head and some hands, but again, with the seating arrangement, I tried, but it was very, very difficult to not get somebody's face on there. So again, I apologize for that. Moving forward though, I don't know if I would change this approach any. I really liked the way that was set up. I really liked the fact I may use different Kagan methods as far as allowing them the opportunity to respond, and I know I need to work on that. And so taking what I've watched and what I've learned, I would probably give them more opportunity to respond than what they did. But other than that, though, I don't think I would change the approach to the lesson based on what I've learned through this teaching experience and with this group. They really responded well, and I can tell you now that based on the data that I have, that all of them did exceptionally well with this book, with the AR tests that they took, and with the comprehension tests that we had periodically throughout the book. All of them scored very, very well on this. So I'm actually very pleased with the way I differentiated this for them, gave them all the opportunity to respond and to learn. So thank you and have a good day.